Day day 8. Ain't it great? I drank that cute for you. Um, but we chug over here. We have way too much juice to drink politely. This is an aggressive detox. This is an aggressive process of transformation. So you have to flood the good. You have to flood the nutrients. You have to flood the enzymes. You have to flood the digestion stimulants. Actually, we're not taking stimulants. Stimulants is actually looked down upon. Like, um, you know what stimulants. You know what makes you go. Nope, this is all from scratch, baby. I wonder if I can undo this or would it be easier? Bear with me as we get our bearings. One full week of posting every single day while doing a 40-day juice cleanse, to which I invested close to $2,000 with hiring a private coach, being in a private community. And you're like, whoa, why would you do that? You've been fasting since 17. Why would you employ anybody, right? Why would you spend an absurd amount of money for a relatively cheap way to restart your nervous system? And that's a great question, dear, because you must not be a food addict. Just kidding. Kind of not really, but dear, when you have an addiction to something, when you cope with the use of something, a substance, when you manually alter your state with a substance perpetually, then you might be an addict. And willpower can only get you so far. And mind you, I prided myself on willpower. I prided myself on being able to white knuckle it. Is it better without glasses? It's just, oh gosh, it's so easy to see. But we're tuning in a little earlier today because as we are in day 8, your girl is feeling things that she's expected to feel. She was expecting to feel. She just didn't know how. Like you know, parts of fasting sucks. You just forget which parts. And the cravings are going down, which is surprisingly because usually I'm white knuckling it through this on day 8. The longest fast I've ever done before was a 22-day fast by myself because I was just fed up of being fed up. And anger has a way of fueling you, igniting you. It's not sustainable, but that fire will get your train going. So I'll tap into what my coach sent us this morning. Beautiful soul. So we keep it raw and uncut up in here. Like I broke out in hives on my torso. I feel like I have a cold sore coming on my lip. I haven't had that in close to 2 decades. So things are trying to come up at this point, and I feel it emotionally. Temperament wise, I am calmer. I feel like I'm less reactive. I'm more in I'm not quite subdued yet. I'm still interacting with my surroundings, but it's a very surface level reaction. Like I feel as if I am just on my own train and there just happen to be passerbys coming and going. So I had to go to the grocery store. I buy my produce every 2 days. So I batch juice 2 days. I want to be as fresh as possible, but also being aware of how much time this takes. So when I prepare for 2 days, it's about an hour and a half of juicing. And yeah, we don't play around. You actually have to designate for this lifestyle. Okay. Coach says, day 8, the cleanse. I love how she has subjects for each one of these days. Day 8, the cleanse gets quirky. We are officially in week 2, which is amazing. And she just brings up, like, you may feel high on 1 minute, then suddenly want to cry over a banana. I almost cried over, what am I saying? Girl, A McMuffin, a McMuffin, a McDonald's McMuffin. Growing up in South Central LA, which is essentially a food desert, your options were McDonald's, donut shop, or Chinese food. Those were your options. And that's what we ate to cope and to feel good and to get a high. Even though we lived in South Central LA, my mother didn't allow us to go to the school district in South Central LA. So every morning, every night, 45 minutes one way, 45 minutes to hour and a half, depending on traffic. So by the time my mom got off of work, single mom, she picked us up around 5:36. That's the only reason I got into sports, was because I was just tired of waiting on my mom to get off of work for when she picked us up. Dang, that sucks. I think about it. I'm like, wow, all these kids just walked to their house. I had to wait. I couldn't get home until 8 o'clock at night every night. And who wants to do homework at 8 o'clock at night? I had to develop other character skills. Thankfully, I'm so stubborn that I can learn something quick, even though I learn differently. I can learn what I need to learn, but retention only get retention with the things I care about. Okay, so this is what she says, like the emotional detox starting. So your body is basically fully surrendered and it's no longer expecting food. It's just expecting a flush of nutrients through juice. So it's actually, you start to almost crave your juices because it's the only thing that's really nurturing you. And mind you, you're doing about 2,400 calories or more of juicing, depending on how active you are. I am only doing walks, so I average between 10,000 and my average is about, I can go up to 18,000, but I want to keep as light as possible because I'm still working. I'm still taking care of a dog. And I know you're like, no, it's not like a kid. And I get that. I give you your props. I give all the parents the props. But I've been picking up poop for 10 years. I think you only have to do it for 2 years. So I've just been having that in my arsenal to use. All right. She brings up random flashbacks or vivid dreams start happening, which is started happening. I'm getting little glimpses of scenes of when I grow up. And for some reason, the theme has been surrounded by me proving myself. It was subtle at first. It looked like help. It looked like showing that there's a way. It looked like achievement. It looked like overcoming. But what is it based in? Hmm? What is it based in? Detox clears the physical and energetic clutter. Are you ready to go through those boxes in your attic, in your basement, Breezy? In your basement? Are you ready? Got a little dust on there, girl. Ooh, what's that black box in the corner? What's that one? With the cobwebs and the chain lock. What's that one? With the armed gunman protecting. And she just reminds us that rest is sacred. You're not being lazy. You're in cellular renovation mode. Nap if you need to, hydrate, surrender. And the power statement for today is, I'm not just releasing toxins. I'm releasing who I no longer need to be. Who do you no longer need to be? Ooh. You know, when you start getting into this, you say certain things, and I feel as if certain words have energetic chords to them. So the words you're putting together, I'm starting to feel just in my body, kind of, it's almost like a symphony. I'll have better terminology probably in the third week of what this is, but I'm becoming way more sensitive. And that's what I spent my whole life not trying to be. When you do a master reset, you go back to factory settings. So pieces of who you actually are start surfacing up. And also, those pieces, some people call it shadow, some people call it past life, those get a chance to finally, she's relaxed. We can actually bubble up. And how you handle them, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally, because you have at your disposal an array of emotions, and they all have the right to come up, and you have the right to witness them. Just witness them. It's okay. You don't have to cling to it. This is not how it's going to be every single day. It happens moment to moment. You're learning compassion. You're learning grace because it's happening moment to moment. Okay? So just chill, Breezy. Chill. You don't have to analyze everything. Your job is to relax. When has it ever been your job to relax? Relax. Loosen the bumhole. Okay? Relax. You don't have to interfere with everything. God has created everything perfectly without your interruption. The universe still orchestrates without your interruption. Resources replenish without your interruption. So, yeah, so I have hives all over my torso. So something's trying to come out. I have awakened something, and I think it's angry. I'm assuming. I don't want to title it, but we're getting some sunshine. This last bit of sunshine whilst we prep for winter. I hope, I hope, I hope this is my thumbnail. This is a good. The light. The light's always just trying to come in, you know? I just want to get out of the way of that. Oh, I did want so it's encouraged that you journal and you let your emotions out, even if you can't, even if you've never journaled before. Like, just start writing, scribing. What comes up? Random sentences. It doesn't have to be a full on page, although it is encouraged to get in the habit of that. Because as you're purging, you know, when you purge so much and there's just like liquid coming out, liquid just coming out. And then the substance starts coming out. It's like solid, mush, liquid, and then like the hard, like sand and the impacted, it's fecal matter, but yeah, all that starts coming out. And it all starts coming out spiritually as well. So I'm doing a couple of journal prompts because I don't want to even come up with a journal. We have journal prompts that we come up with our group, but I'm like, I'm going to work with what I am given. And so if I get asked a prompt or a question, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to see what comes up for me. If it's a whole story, then okay, we'll explore it. If not, then I'll just move on to another question. So I thought this was a great breakdown of what the shadow self is. And I've never really heard it like that, like this. So Carl Jung says, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of others. When you can call out your own, when you know you, I know it's a cliche to talk about that. When you know you don't really fear people trying to use it against you. And there's some power in that. Nobody should know you better than you. Well, especially as women, we're just so conditioned to put other people's needs before us. That's how we remain tired and just shop and eat and complain. Girl, I know. Okay, listen to this. So this is from actually my a previous girlfriend I've had. She got me this book, and it's the first time I'm really kind of diving in it. She got me this book probably 2 years ago, and I'm just now exploring it. So, shadow work involves exploring. Oh gosh, I wish I could just upload all of this or just give a diagram. Don't worry, I'm gonna learn. Shadow work involves exploring these unconscious aspects of ourselves in a safe and controlled environment. This can include journaling, meditation, therapy, or working with a spiritual teacher or guide. The goal of shadow work is to bring the unconscious into the conscious and integrate it into our lives. We're not killing the ego, we're not burying our unconscious, it's already buried, which we want it to come up. By doing this, we can gain a greater understanding of our motivations, our reactions, and behaviors, and make changes to live more authentic lives. We all have multiple parts to ourselves, and if we don't embrace the entirety of our being, we won't be able to live a whole and authentic life. The process of integrating the shadow leads to self acceptance, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Isn't that the goal? And it goes so much deeper than that. Really showing what kind of compassion you have to have, what it looks like in different forms, as far as shame, guilt, anger, your dreams, recognizing patterns. Oh my gosh. What does it say? I highlighted something. To understand your projections, consider the characteristics of others that you find extremely irritating or conversely overly admire. The things you feel neutral about, that you don't get signals about, those kind of go over our head. Like one friend can be super annoying to somebody, and then one friend can be just playful and amazing. What you truly admire in somebody, that's what you admire in yourself. What you truly despise in somebody, that's what you're capable of doing yourself. You just do it out of integrity, and then you end up rationalizing it with your mind because you are you and you can justify any situation. And typically, you don't have somebody calling you out on it because you already have so much shame and guilt around it. So you're like, oh, I'll just do it in the shadows and whatever. I'm justified because I had to do this. I had to do it. So this makes sense to me. Okay. Okay. Whatever whatever you need to tell yourself, but that is just adding layers, that inner audience that is watching you, your every move, it's adding layers and gunk to your authenticity. Now you're putting in fuel that you aren't designed to take. And what does that do to your engine? It gunks it up. So what a fast is doing, what journaling is doing, what shadow work is doing, what being in community is doing, we're slowly but surely trying to release that gunk a little bit so you can go back to functioning how you were meant to function, how you've always functioned. Before you thought there was a problem with it, before you got in trouble, before you got reprimanded, before you got embarrassed, before you got betrayed. You started using a different fuel source because you saw love gets destroyed. You saw kindness is not always reciprocated. You saw loyalty is actually wavering. So if those were your fuel, now I'm just going to try something else, apparently. What's cheap? What's easy to get to? Okay, I'll just use this. I'll start performing. That's cheap. I'll start disagreeing. Anybody could do that. Anybody could play that. I'll start people pleasing. Yeah, seems to get a good reaction. At least a predictable reaction. And then 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, you're like, who am I? I don't even like this stuff. Why can I bring joy? Why can I move forward? Why do I always feel stuck? Because the car broke down. And now you're just trying to push it with all this extra baggage, all these, your whole dashboard is lit up. That can look like your knees cracking going up the stairs. That could look like extreme fatigue, rheumatoid arthritis. That could look like inflammation. That could look like no motivation. That could look like no fostering relationships. Oh well, I'm just in survival mode. Yeah, your car starts hollering when things aren't going good. So does your body, so does your mind. So does your manifestations. So does your results and your output. So I'm at the point where I'm ready to look at every single light that's on my dashboard, not trying to take it all at once. Oh my gosh. I don't want the quick way anymore. I want the slow burn, like building up in a new relationship. It's so fun to just click with somebody and just, oh my gosh, you start imagining, oh, I could get along with this person forever. Oh, it's a quick, it's quick high. It's quick, whew, dopamine. Oh yeah, let me just fantasize about this just down the line. And it just, oh yeah, my receptors, oh my gosh, the oxytocin is flowing, the serotonin, all these happy chemicals. Use that excitement and focus it on you. How excited are you going to be when you're in Thailand in a little bikini or at a buffet or getting a massage every other day for $7 a day? Or with a loving family at your cabin and you're absolutely obsessed with your in-laws. You've never seen a functioning family unit, but this family has legacy and they've welcomed you so much. Doesn't that make you feel phenomenal? You're honored to have their last name. You're honored to get remarried again. You're honored to provide children for your husband to continue the legacy that he's already built before he even knew you. Doesn't that get you excited? To help community, to be around soul driven, just such authentic, clear, concise, beautiful, smart, wise people. And you get to have sleepovers with them, or you get to go to Bora Bora with them and have a private chef and have maid service and be doted on hand and foot. Like, what does that look like for you? Doesn't that put your energy there? That's where I'm putting my energy. And I have to talk about it to remind myself, like, oh yeah, this feels so good. I'm 35 and I wasn't sure I wanted children. I did not want to recreate any part of my childhood. Now, sometimes we can distort our memories. I'm not saying what you went through is not valid, but let's unpack it, get the truth, and stop having it constantly replaying in the background of every decision we make. Of did the lighting change? It just got really pretty right now. Okay, all right, that's nice. I feel like I'm touching on things. I'm getting those signals more and more throughout the day, and it's wonderful that I'm actually aware of, you know? Beautiful. But let's sit with this and understand it once for all. It's only uncomfortable until you do it. It's only hard until you face it. Start your channel, talk about this stuff. Even if you have nobody there, this is going to resonate with somebody eventually. And by the time people find this, you're probably already going to be on day 50, day 100, day 120. I don't know why I said those numbers. It was only supposed to be 40 days. I don't know. But I believe in you. And I want to thank you for sharing this space with me. You may feel stuck. You may be chronically in this survival mode. You just don't know how to get off the hamster wheel. You think you have to show up to the hamster wheel to make sure things keep functioning in your life, to keep things moving, to keep things rolling. And then one day you're just going to drop dead. We're starting to see more and more evidence of it. I think it's becoming real. I'm on this journey to really see how far I can take this. To really see what human potential looks like from going from point A to point B. It's uncomfortable, but I'm sold out. Just like I said in my last video, you sold out. What's the point of complaining? What's the point of what's the point of playing with your destiny once you already made the decision? That's how I know you've made the decision. That's how you know. because everything else seems childish. Everything else seems like that wasn't me. Why would I do that? It was just, it's a muscle memory. Your body is still telling you you need that burrito. Your body's still telling you, you're gonna feel a lot better if you get that McMuffin. You know, the ones that you couldn't afford as a kid, and your mom would give that to you after she spanked you or something like that. Or if she couldn't afford the field trip, so she got you that every once in a while. That was a reward system. Food is a reward. Food is the dopamine release. That's how food becomes drug. Your parents used it to cope with something, and they unintentionally taught you to use it to cope with something, or to be a filler for the emotion that they couldn't provide, or the attention they couldn't provide, or the patience they couldn't provide. So now that you know that, you can start looking at this a little differently, and have grace. Like, okay, now that I'm aware, I can actually move on it. I could do something about it. So we'll end it there. I'm telling you, I start recording and then I'm like, God, just give me something. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but give me something. And I want you to witness, and I want to be a witness for myself. I don't think I'm gonna even believe what this next year is gonna look like. You get to a point where I'm just gonna decide to be bold about it. No complain. You just can't have the same year that you've been having. You just can't. You can't. So I'm happy that you're here. We have a long journey to go. It will be fun. It will be challenging. But my golly, it will be transformational. I can feel it. So this is just my testament of persistence. But still, temptation is everywhere. So is truth. Decide where you're going to lean on. All right, dear. Much love to you, wherever you're at in your journey. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye, dear. I gotta find my signature exit.